Now, Hippo.
Padre.
Last week, we started this whole your own podcast studio thing, but it wasn't like the segments that we've done in the past where we showed people the cameras we liked, the lights we liked, and the microphones we liked. We had a specific focus.
Yes, and that focus were the little Blackmagic cameras.
Yeah, these little doohickems. We love these things. Great quality. They look good. They're incredibly flexible. They're not nearly as high priced as they should be. I mean, a camera like this would normally go for somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 just a year or two ago.
Right.
These were $1,000 or $1,300, and they allowed us to use interchangeable lenses. They had HDMI, SDI, all the control channels we wanted. I mean, they were high-end cameras.
Yeah, and not a whole lot of compromise either, because they don't take up a lot of space. The only thing is they don't come with the 4K model doesn't record to it, but that's fine. I mean, if what you're doing, you don't need that. And then this one does, you can record to it with an SD card, but neither of them have monitors on it. So you these are cameras for people who can dial it in and know what they want. These aren't like, I would say, beginner cameras. Like someone's just like, oh, this is a camera that people say shoots good stuff. I don't know how any of it works, but...
Precisely, yeah. If you're going to be using these cameras, you actually have to know how video works. You have to know what kind of frame rate you want. You have to know what kind of glass you want to choose, because the thing about a camera with an interchangeable lens is it has an interchangeable lens. So you have to choose the right lens. And a lot of lenses out there, the low-priced ones, are kind of junk. They're plastic lenses. They're not great, which kind of negates the quality you get from the body.
Right, and unfortunately, you didn't get the 10,000 lens.
No,
I
could not convince Leo to let us borrow that.
He trusts us.
You know what? He trusts us, but I'm not all that surprised that he wouldn't do that. I mean, but they are still good. They are still good lenses. They don't let in nearly as much light as they should. But I mean, for our purposes and what we want to do for this segment, they work just fine. Because remember, what we want to do is give people an easy sub $3,000 setup.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to do. Now, that sub $3,000 setup would include you getting up to 2 of these cameras. Because remember, it's $1,000 for the cinema, it's $1,300 for the studio, and then some sort of streaming device. We're going to show you the streaming device in just a bit. Believe it or not, you're not going to need your laptop. This is a little box that I've been playing with for a while, and I got to say, aside from a couple of bugs, it's awesome. But we do want to start with something that is a complement to this, because as you mentioned, one of the biggest drawbacks of getting either of the micros from Blackmagic is...
no screen.
No screen. And you do need a screen. I'm not just talking so you can frame the shot. You need to be able to set parameters on the camera. You have to set your ISO, you have to set the iris, you have to set what kind of color balance you want. Now, if you get a switcher that allows you to control it through one of the control channels, either through the SDI or through the HDMI, then you can set it at the console. But if not, you're going to need something to plug it in to do your setup.
Right.
Yeah, which is why we've brought out this. If you go to the overhead shot, this wonderful little device, I have had my eye on this as long as I've had the micros on. This is the Blackmagic Video Assist 4K camera, 4K net camera. It's a video monitor. Now, the awesome thing about this is that, well, it works with absolutely everything. I've got it plugged into the cinema right now, and as you can see, I can do my settings on the cinema, and then I also get this wonderful 7-inch 1920 by 1080 touchscreen, integrated mono speaker, dual SD slots. So I can record here, slot A, slot B, both supporting SDHC, SDXC, and a plethora of inputs. As you can see, I've got HDMI in, so I'm running off my cinema camera with HDMI. I've also got HDMI out, so I'm passing it through. So if you go to that shot, go to HDMI 2, Alex, you can actually see what this looks like, which is, I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, anytime you give me the ability to pass through video, it's just going to increase what I can do with the device, which this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Getting back to this monitor, it's also got SDI. So I've got the 270 megabit, 1.5 gigabit, 3G and 6G right here, both in and out. So again, I can pass through if I need to.
That's cool.
Plus 2 balanced mini XLR. This is actually really, really important. The smaller version of this does not have these, which is why I didn't get it. I do kind of like this. This allows me to do real-time recording of an audio source, which I need if I'm going to be mixing multiple cameras.
And doing podcasting.
This will also do LANC, so I can sync all my cameras if I need to get them all on the same timeline. And on the back, by the way, it's powered by the same batteries that power the Blackmagic cameras, which they're just Canon batteries. And the fact that I have two means I can swap them in and out without shutting off. Like, for example, see, it's still powered on. I can take these batteries out as I need.
And you can also use it as a charger, I guess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It can also be used as a charger. And it is a touchscreen. So it gives me all of the functions that I need at a single glance. Everything from what kind of rate I'm recording at to what I set my channels for, what I'm going to be triggering. This is a really cool way for you to monitor what you're recording. I mean, this beyond anything.
Yeah.
This is one of the best assistants that I've seen.
Now, you were also saying to me that if you had a lens that was capable of it, could you control the focus and zoom and stuff on that too?
So if I put a micro four thirds lens on either of these cameras that support the active features, so the active mount that allows the camera to control the zoom and the focus, I can control it through any device that can control the cameras.
That's cool.
Right?
I like that.
We're getting kind of cool. The price, a little steep. If you go to the link there, Alex, it's going to run you about $900.
Ooh, that's pretty close to the price of the camera itself.
Yeah, and the thing is, there is a 5-inch version of this that does not record in 4K. That goes for $500.
And doesn't have the mini.
Doesn't have the mini XLR, which kind of that's why I would go with this instead. It's worth the extra $400 for the 4K recording and for the mini XLR. Speaking of that 4K recording, let's talk about the formats you can support on this. So this is going to do NTSC and PAL. It's got, of course, SDA HMI, and on both of those it'll do 720p, 50, and 59.94. It'll also do 23.98 on 1080p, 24 frames per second, 25, 29.97, 30, 50, 59.94, and 60. If you want to do interlaced, it'll do 1080i, 50, 59.94, and 60. Now, that's for both interfaces. If you're using the SDI interface, you get also the 4K resolution. So I can record 4K, 23.98 frames per second, 24, 25, 29.97, and 30 frames per second. Now, we're going to run into the same thing that I had with the Micro Cinema, which is it's going to be recording in 422 HQ ProRes.
Okay.
Which
huge files.
Remember, we used to record everything at TWiT in ProRes.
Right. And I remember those days.
Those are big files. People like them, and the reason why Blackmagic does it is because they are a higher-end manufacturer of equipment.
Especially if you're doing any post-processing.
Precisely, and so it's worth it to have that. However, with this, not so much for me. So I'm okay with dropping it down and using a different recorder. Just know that if you do record in ProRes on this, your files are going to be huge. Huge.
You know how we love huge files here.
Absolutely. Now, hold on. Let me do this. Let me get the menu off the screen first. There we go. And actually, if you could switch to this this input.
Who's that?
Oh, who's that handsome devil? Okay, I got the white balance all wrong again. But I mean, what I like about this, it will give me everything from, see at the bottom, at a glance, I know what my FPS is. I'll know what stop I'm at. I'll know the angle of my lens. I'll know my run time. I get a volume meter. I get Zebra. I can use Zebra on this. So I mean, all the advanced features that you get built into the viewfinder of some of the higher end cameras, I can just get straight off of this monitor.
How is the audio just off the camera? Have you listened to any recordings off of it?
It's like any audio off of the camera.
Yeah,
I mean,
so you're going to want to do...
It works, but...
It's like, it's included, but you're not going to really want to use that.
And they know that. And that's why they have audio in jacks, because they realize a lot of people aren't going to use the audio at all, and the people who are going to use it will want to actually use their own mic.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Cool. This is a really, really good companion if you are thinking about getting any of these cameras. Again, yes, a little expensive, but the information you can get off of this is phenomenal. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to swap this over and show you what it will do for 4K. So remember, with the studio camera, the HDMI output is always going to be 1080.
Right.
The SDI output can go up to 4K.
Right.
which is nice. I can do this dual output. So I can have my studio monitors at 1080, but it can be sending to my switcher in 4K.
Exactly.
Or vice versa, you know, whatever I want to do.
I guess so.
This is using a slightly different style of SDI. We've seen this. They're smaller.
Tiny.
And they're kind of nice because they do that.
Whoa.
Just realize these are a little bit delicate. I know people who have done stupid things like grab the camera by this or just tugged. You can pull that entire SDI socket out. You do have to like lift and pull.
Oof.
Just know that if you do that,
Oh, that would make me so sad.
it would be just really sad. I've actually already designed a housing for this that goes around there, so it actually provides some strain relief. Because right now the strain relief is the connector.
Yeah.
And I'm not really happy about that. But okay, we're going to go ahead and plug this into the SDI, like so. And I'm going to turn this thing on. Let me remove the other camera.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Did you want to see
My video
yourself?
went away.
Let me get back for you. SDI. Oh, you know what? It helps if you put SDI out. So, wait. Why are you upside down?
I don't know.
The image flipped on the screen.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, I should have mentioned that it auto flips.
Oh, okay. So it has orientation. That's
Yes,
cool.
It does. Hold on.
So lift it up and the other way.
Yeah, that's.
There we go. Okay. There we go. Let me focus you in here.
The color is a little bit better on
You'll
this one.
notice, see, and this is why I
it.
like the 4K camera. Look at the color on the 4K versus the 1080p.
Well, did you have it set properly on the other one?
Kind of. I mean, they're set for the same color temperature. It's just I like the image off the 4K sensor a bit more. I know I can get this off the 1080p, but I found that the 4K is actually more forgiving for getting you the really nice shots.
That's pretty cool.
It's-
I mean, I
it's
do like
pretty
looking at
sweet.
myself, so.
Yeah. And are we going? We are going through the monitor, right?
No.
Oh no, but no. That the image you're getting is a pass through.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and
That's
again, this allows me to set all my parameters. I could, since I can control this via the SDI, I can actually set my all the parameters for what kind of format I'm going to be recording in from this monitor instead of having to go through the on-camera menu, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, it's a pretty sharp monitor too. Like,
Yeah, to 1080p.
It looks really
so
clear.
it will scale everything to 1080p. But I mean, it's not just a monitor. I have monitors. I have a couple from a few other companies actually we've seen on Know How that are great for looking at the output from cameras. But this is different because this is a monitor / recording studio.
Yeah.
That's good. Good.
Very neat.
Okay, so we've got another piece. We've got the cameras we want to play with. We've got a monitor that we can use to sort of control them when we need to control them.
Right.
However, we promised people that this was going to be a streaming podcast studio. So not just what we recorded and then edited and uploaded it.
Yeah.
We need a way to actually push things in real time.
Right.
I wonder how we're going to do that, Brian.
I think I have an idea.
Yeah.